Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So today I'm back with another client horror storytime video for you guys. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kelsey and I'm a hair braider. So besides working at a salon, I also have my own clients that I take care of either at my house or at their house. I do braiding services for them. So one of those clients are the characters in today's storytime video. So just so you guys know, most of the clients that I do privately, I do at my own house because my house is never empty, so I'm usually safer at my own house. But whenever I do go to other people's houses, they're either a friend or a friend of a friend. It's never a complete total stranger, and if anything, I also always make sure that somebody else knows where I am the whole time. So I always do what I can to protect myself. So I just want to put that out there before anyone listens to the story and they're like, oh, that's what you asked for because you go to strangers' houses and blah 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 blah. So just putting that out there. Okay, so this story happened about 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't have this client anymore, so we're just gonna name him Stanley. I don't think I know Stanley in real life. So yeah, we're gonna call him Stanley. So Stanley is a client who was referred to me by one of my good friends. So I don't know if they're necessarily friends, but I know that they're pretty good acquaintances at least. So he originally was a client who came to my house, but I remember every time he came over, he was either late or there was always some sort of issue because for whatever reason, he always had a transportation issue. I don't know if he didn't have his own car or he didn't have a license or whatever the situation was, but it wasn't my business. But the thing is, he always needed to depend on somebody else to get him to my house, which is why he was always late. So eventually he had asked me if I could come to his house, so I said yeah, because that'd be easier because at least I know that I'll be on time, so it was easier for me to just work that way. So the weird thing though with Stanley was that every time I went to him, it was always at a different location. It was either his brother's house, his cousin's house, his sister's house. It was always some relative's house. I mean, they were all in the same area, so it wasn't that weird, but it was just weird that it wasn't ever his own place. I don't even know if he has his own place, but again, it's not my business. I don't know his situation, but for whatever reason, it was always at someone's house. So this particular day, he had me come to, I think it was either his uncle or his dad, but I'm pretty sure it was his dad, if I remember correctly. So this was the second time that I had ever gone to his house. So yeah, I was just doing my thing. I went over with all my things. I was in his living room doing his hair, and it was me and him, and he has a 10-year-old son. So it's like the three of us were just talking, having casual conversation, whatever. And the way this house is set up is if you go through the front door, you're immediately in the living room. So whoever walks in right to where we were, basically. So yeah, so anyways, it's nighttime and I'm just doing his hair. I'm about halfway through, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, the front door slams open, and it is this man, a much older man. I don't know how old I would say he was, but basically this is who I eventually found out was his father, so old enough to be this guy's father. So yeah, so he slams in the door, and if I could make a cartoon image of his face, I would draw him with red eyes bulging out of his face and smoke coming out of his ears and veins in his neck and everywhere. He looked so angry. I mean, like, angry. So he slams the door open and he's looking straight at me and he's pointing his finger at me, and as soon as he walks in, the 10-year-old son immediately starts like pleading for me, and he's like, it's okay, leave her alone, she's good, she's fine, she's just doing his hair, nothing serious. Like, I mean, he's seriously pleading for me, this 10-year-old kid. So the man, he's pointing at me and he goes, what is she doing here? And then she looks at Stanley and he's like, you know she's not supposed to be here, get her out of my house. So then Stanley starts yelling back at him, but he's yelling in Spanish, which I don't understand. So then the man's yelling back at him in Spanish. So it's just this whole back and forth conversation that I don't understand, and they're yelling at each other. And then the 10-year-old son is also yelling, but he's speaking English, and he's just basically saying to leave me alone and that I'm a good person. So he's like pleading for my life or something. So me, obviously, I have no idea what is going on, and I had never seen this man before, ever. Like I said, it's his father. It's his father. Either way, whoever he is, it's his house that we're in. And I didn't see him the first time that I came over, and this was my second time ever being there. So I can't really figure out what the issue is, but clearly he does not like me. He doesn't want me here, and he wants me to get out of this house. So in the midst of their three-way argument, I just turn around and I just start packing myself up because I know I gotta get out of here. I don't know what's going on, but this guy is angry and heated, and I need to get out. So anyway, they're arguing, and like I said, I don't understand, but then eventually in English, the father, he just goes, get her out of this house, I don't want her in here, and he turns around and goes right back out the front door and slams the door behind him. So this all happened really fast. This was like maybe 60 to 90 seconds that this whole thing lasted, but it felt like forever just because I was so confused, and I am positive I don't know this man, so therefore I am positive this man does not know me. But what I'm most positive about is I need to get up out of this house. So after he leaves, the son, he's just like, I'm so sorry he did that to you, he shouldn't have done that. Like, this 10-year-old boy, he's so sweet, he's just like apologizing to me and apologizing, and Stanley is just saying absolutely nothing. And then eventually he goes, yeah, so we can't finish this hair. Do you think that we could finish at my cousin's house or someone else? Some other relative who had been to before, because like I said, I'm always going to some relative's house to do his hair. And like I said, they're in the same area. So obviously, looking back at it, I should have just went home and been like, no, this is weird, I want to go home. But in the moment, I was more confused and shocked than anything. And also, I wanted to know what was going on, you know? I was very curious. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. We could just go to his house and finish this. And I ended up driving him there because, like I said, he doesn't drive, which I really didn't have a problem with. And even now, I don't really mind that I did that. It's just a whole weird situation that after all that, the first thing that you do is ask me for a ride to somebody else's house so that I can finish doing your hair. And meanwhile, I have not gotten an apology from you, but yet I got a bunch of apologies from your 10-year-old son. By the way, Stanley's like just a few years older than me, so maybe he's like 29, 30, something in that age range, in case you guys are wondering. So yeah, grown enough to give me an apology at the very least on this man's behalf, because he scared me, he made me very uncomfortable. I don't know what's going on here. So anyway, so I packed my stuff up and I'm in the car, and I remember walking out of the house and it was nighttime, so I don't know where the guy went. I don't know if he left the house or if he was still hanging around somewhere. So I remember like looking at every step, and I'm looking through the bushes because I don't know where he went. I just know he was really angry, and I don't want to get attacked out here because where I live is like the wilderness. It's very woodsy up here, so if something happened to me, nobody would hear me scream. So anyway, so we get in the car and I'm about to start driving to his cousin's house or wherever we were going next. And what did he say? I know he didn't say sorry, but he just said, I remember that he never said that it was his dad, because I know that this night I didn't know that it was his dad. I didn't find out until later on. So basically he's just like, oh, that shouldn't have gone down like that. That shouldn't have happened. That was really weird. I'm gonna make sure that doesn't happen. Something like that. And then it's just silence. So I'm just sitting there in the car and I'm just thinking, is he really gonna make me ask what happened? Like, you're not just gonna tell me what that was all about? Because you know I don't know what you guys were saying. But clearly I understood that me being there was an issue for whatever reason. So I was like, yeah, I'm really confused right now. So what's going on? Does he think that I'm somebody else that he knows? Is he confusing me for someone? Because that was all that I could think of. Like, this man thinks that I'm somebody else because he doesn't know me, but clearly he's acting like he does. So he must have thought that I'm somebody else. Like, do I look like some psycho ex-girlfriend or something? So his response was, oh no, it's not that. It's just, you know, he was looking at us through the cameras and he saw, you know, you were a black girl in the house and he's not really comfortable with that. Like, he just like I said it, that's how he said it. He just like smoothly just slid that little comment in there, basically saying that the issue was that this man did not want a black girl in the house. So him saying, you know, she shouldn't be in here, was basically saying, you know, you shouldn't have black people in my house. And like at that moment, it caught me so off guard that I really didn't even say anything to it. Like, looking back now, there was so much I could have said the second he said that. But when he said it and the way he said it, it was just so casually slid in there that I was just more shocked. And I didn't really know what to say because it took me a second to even pick up that he said that. But he just said it so nonchalantly. The tone he said it in was just so basically saying, oh, you know how it is when people see black people and they don't like them. You know, like this is normal for me. Like, I should be used to this. Like, this is casual. You know, like, it just happened, just another day in your life. So anyways, let's move on with this. So yeah, that was my issue. That's just that he just like sprinkled it in there and just wanted to keep on moving. But yeah, but never got an apology or anything. So it's just, I really just didn't really know what to say to that, you know. Like, in the moment I had no idea what to say. And I remember later on telling people this story, and every time I said it I was like, I wish I could have said something, I wish I said something more. But the thing is, I was just so caught off guard. And and also, like, he wasn't the one who was the racist one, you know, as far as I know. Like, I'm not gonna make the assumption that he's racist because his father is, but at the same time, you never really know. Like, maybe he is, but he just uses me to do his hair because there's not a lot of braiders up here, and most likely if you get a braider, more than likely she's gonna be black. It's just, it is the way it is. So yeah, so that happened. So anyway, all I remember was that he never, like, the whole night just finished and I just ended up going home and he never really brought it up. So I don't know if he was like just too ashamed to even talk about it, or if he was really just that normal with this, you know what I'm saying? But he never really apologized until the next time he tried booking with me. So he just texted me, he was like, can you do my hair this Friday or whatever? By the way, I'm really sorry about the way my dad acted. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. And I was like, yeah, I know it'll never happen again because I am never going to you again. So if I'm doing your hair again, you're coming to me. Like, I don't know how you're going to get here. I don't care how, but I'm not going to go to you. And I know that he has other people that I can go by, but you guys are all family. And like I said, I'm not going to just assume that everyone in your family is racist because of this man. But at the same time, I'm also not going to assume that you're not, because I went to your house to do your hair and provide this convenience for you by going to you to do your hair because I assumed that I'll be okay and I'll be safe, and clearly I was wrong. So I'm not gonna take that chance and make that same mistake again. So yeah, if you want your hair done by me, you're gonna come to me. So, and I feel like that might have rubbed the wrong way, because after that he came to me like that one time, maybe one other time, and then he never ever called me for an appointment ever again. I just feel like after he apologized, the response that he expected from me was, oh, that's okay, don't worry about it, it happens all the time, or, you know, it happens, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But obviously, I don't know, I feel like I was more bothered by the fact that it took until you needed another appointment with me to get an apology from you. And what gets me the most, and this is something that I thought about, you know how something happens and the more you think about it, the more you realize how wrong and messed up the situation was. So obviously in this situation I was thinking, okay, that's messed up that this man got mad at me simply for being black and in your house. But now I'm thinking it was messed up of Stanley to even bring me over. Because the thing is, as soon as he walked in the house, the son immediately started pleading for me before he even said anything. And then Stanley immediately started yelling at him before anything had really, you know, went down. So it shows that him walking through the door automatically made the two of them think, oh no, he's home and there's a black girl in our house. You know, like, this is obviously not the first time something like this has happened. You obviously know that your father had an issue with me simply because of the color of my skin. And yet you brought me in his house anyway. Why would you do that to me? You know, you put me in that awkward position. And I'm definitely not justifying the fact that his man felt that way towards me because of my skin color. But what I'm saying is, you know him and you brought me in his house. Why would you do that to me? And why didn't you apologize the second it happened? Not that it would have made anything much better, but at least, like, clear your own name as my client. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing the service for you. And then, yeah, the other issue is that he just nonchalantly said it. And I feel like, you know how, I feel like some people, how do I say this? I feel like for some people, they do assume that it's a logical assumption to think that I'm used to this. So, like, him saying, oh, it's because you're black, I should have been like, oh, that's what it was. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's basically the whole story. It's really not much to it. It wasn't a huge situation. It was just very weird for me. Like, just to have someone, like, barge in like that and be that angry and then find out that that's the reason why. You know, like, I don't know what he thought me being there meant. I was asked to be there to do your son's hair. I'm being paid for this. This is a job for me. I don't know what you thought. Like, do you think that me being there was putting you in some sort of danger? Do you think that I had drugs and weapons on me? You think I had gangsters outside surrounding your house? All I had was my comb, some hair products, and my black skin. What's so threatening about that? Why did that make you angry? So anyway, thankfully I wasn't in any real danger because all he did was yell and make a scene. But it's just like, I wish you guys could see, like, the look. Like, you know how some people, or sometimes you just see someone looking so angry, you automatically feel like you're in danger just by the looks that they give you because he's that angry? That's what I was getting from his vibe. Just the way he slammed the door and slammed the door to leave. And he was yelling and pointing at me and staring at me. And it was just such a bizarre situation. It's so weird, and like every time I look back at it, I'm still like in shock and awe about it, you know? And it's not to say that I'm surprised that racism exists, because obviously it does, but it's just weird because I was asked to be there. Like, I didn't break into your house and you're acting like I'm an intruder. Anyway, I can go on and on about it, but I'm not going to. But that is basically my story time story. I will never be doing his hair. Well, if he ever asks me to do his hair, like I said, I'll only do it at my house. I will never go to him to do that. And yeah, I'm just glad that I was okay and that I wasn't attacked as much as I felt like it could have happened. And I feel like if I ever set foot in that house, I might be. You never know. But yeah, that's my story. So hope you guys found that entertaining. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not already, please check out my channel, and if you like what you see, subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.